Hi Pisces, welcome to your 7 key messages. So this is going to be 7 key messages at this time. You do have a bonus reading on the membership as well, so check it out on my membership in the description. If you want your own personal, it's in the description box below the video. So let's take a look and see what we can see for you, and I think you're going to love this. Like the video and comment and show the love and the support. So what are the 7 key divine messages that Pisces needs to know at this time? 5 of Wands. Okay, so I think Pisces is being affected, and this came up in your other reading, by the people around you. So you're being affected in some way by conflict. This can be family, it can be just people in your life who there's a lot of drama. Okay. The other side of the coin is the divine message at this time is to turn your back. So the Knight of Cups is turning the back on these people. They're not engaging with these people. They're not entertaining these people. Because I feel like we live in a time where people are trying to bring people into a lot of drama, a lot of conflict, a lot of beliefs, but you're turning your back on it. Well, that's the message. And then we've got the Death card. Okay. So I feel like for some Pisces, it's time to put an end to certain connections in your life. The divine is telling you this. It's time to take your cup away. So the Ace of Cups reversed is where you take your love, or you take your investment, or you take your attention away from something. Okay. And the divine is telling you at this time with the 7 key messages, you need to prepare for an end. So you need to prepare for some kind of ending. Right? And for the Pisces woman, this is about you no longer being naive and giving these type of people your energy. So masculines who just want quick hookups, and you're taking your attention away from this, or you need to. Okay? For the Pisces man, the message here could be that what needs to end is some kind of addiction. And what needs to end is the people we associate with, we tend to reflect. So if you're around people who are getting into fights, or they're drinking, or they're not doing the right things in their life, then that's going to affect your life. So you need to turn your back, and you need to put an end to these connections. Leave certain places or certain people behind. This is actual divine guidance. For me, this combination, there's a lot of Pisces here. So this can be someone who's lost the way. So this can be someone who's moved away from divine consciousness, and they're acting from greed, materialism. This can also be someone who's got a lot of addiction. So I feel like what the divine is telling you at this time is something needs to stop. Okay? The Star. So the Star is like a cleanse. So this is when we cleanse ourselves, we clean up our act. There's a strong message with this, which is you need to clean up your act in some way, because something you're doing is sabotaging you. And the Knight of Cups is often someone who's very naive. They tend to not think about the long-term consequences of what they're doing. For the Pisces woman, you just don't want to see something. See the blindfold? Like, you just don't want to see something about a person in your life. I think something is over. It's over. So this could be for the Pisces man or the Pisces woman. I feel like someone's moved on, but someone is still living for that person. Okay? It's also about being honest about your own behaviour, where it's toxic, where it's damaging. It's also being aware that the people around us do have a big impact on us. Sometimes we have to do the hard things. So let's look into that more, because I feel like something is over. So see the way this Knight of Cups is running. This Knight of Cups is running to this death, but it's over. This person, it's over. Someone's in the past. So what is the divine message for Pisces at this time? Page of Wands. Okay, so I think this is also amazing. I think Pisces is coming to the power in some way. So people who used to be able to bother you, or something that had a strong hold on you, is coming to an end. I heard secretly happy. So something is changing. It could be this week, or it could just be when you see this video, so whatever week it is for you. But something is changing. Something is coming to an end. Okay? Page of Wands, the message here is to be happy, to be positive, to be a dreamer. Right? In other words, to be a dreamer, to get away from people who are kind of, they've got a death wish, everything is doom and gloom. Right? Because it drains you. So that could also be the message here. The star person is inspired, they trust in humanity, they've got faith, they're not kind of doom and gloomers, okay? So maybe that's what this is. You're just getting away from people who are kind of low frequency, full of fear, full of anxiety. Because often people who act like this, it is from fear, right? They have fear. Fear of each other, fear of this, fear of that. It's fear, fear, fear. Right. They don't trust people, so they demonize people. Fear, fear, fear. Okay? So it's all fear. And I feel like for you, you want to love and you want to be positive and you want to meet people and you want to be inspired. So it's really important to be around the right people. I also feel for the Pisces man, like you was definitely in some kind of group of people who was very destructive, right? And I feel like these people controlled you, maybe through fear, but you're leaving that behind now. So this can be people who like they're going the wrong way in life. And maybe you kind of had fear about cutting these people out. But this looks to me like you're ready to do it. Okay? Because you've got the Tower. But for the Pisces who are watching this, who this is the place you're in right now, right? The Five of Swords is like, I'm not going to lie, this combination's not good. For the Pisces woman, I feel like you're dealing with, someone who's just, this person's just damaged, like, and I don't like that word, but I'd say destructive more than damaged. So this person is destructive, this person is self-destructive, they could be unconsciously a mess. Maybe they came from trauma, maybe they've seen a lot of violence. This person could have a lot of trauma and they're not in the best place, and so they act out and they drink and they kind of sabotage. But I feel like with you've got to take the blindfold off to this because someone is dangerous. This is also where Pisces deceives themselves and says that something is divine when it's not. So there is someone in your life. And I feel like this person is on the path to self-destruction. So this is either you, and there's a strong message from the divine at this time that it's time to, the death card is a change of behaviour. It's looking at your unconscious behaviour. It's looking at where you're sabotaging yourself. You know, why you're acting the way that you're acting. Because I don't think it's going to be good. I'm getting someone who's taking drugs or someone who's drinking a lot. So this is very hedonistic. Something that this person is doing is very hedonistic, but it could lead to death. This is also someone who we just talked to, or people who they have like to the point of like they don't care of their own demise. Right? They don't care of their own self-destruction. This can also be people who don't care about the destruction of other people. So it's people who are carrying a lot of hatred, people who are carrying a lot of like internal conflict. You know? And I do think it's important to be careful who you're being influenced by. You know? So there's also that. For the Pisces woman, I think it's about taking the blindfold off. Maybe you've already encountered damage at the hand of this person. I think there's someone in your life who this person is a mess. They're a mess. I feel like this person's also nasty. They know what they're doing. Like this person knows what they're doing. I do think it's a very damaged individual, but they still know what they're doing. They could be cheating, they could be lying, they could be in and out. So me, as I think this is a relationship. So this is someone you're in a relationship with. Okay? What else are we seeing here? Okay, so there's another message for Pisces at this time, which is I think this is kind of matrix. So you're around these people who they play mind games, they backbite, they're nasty. The message here is you're getting away from that. Right, I just had to pause it because the prayer was on. Okay, so I feel like the message here is some of you, so this is to do with the job that you're in. So I feel like this is the type of job where instead of people just going to the job and doing the job, they go to the job, they act like it's a social setting, they act like it's school, they backbite, and it's kind of just low frequency. Maybe you're someone who you go to your job and you just do your job because that's what you're being paid to do, but this is that type of place. So Pisces is being told and guided to go your own way and to basically be inspired about change and putting an end to some kind of environment that's full of that energy. I feel like for Pisces, like you just want to be happy, and you like the Ace of Cups reversed is a person who's also drained. So you just want to be happy. You want to feel safe with people. You want to be positive. You don't want to be around people who are full of fear or complaining or backbiting. You just don't want to be in that environment. Okay? So I feel like this is a very inspiring read for you, because what it's actually saying is it could also be that these people are propelling you to change. So we talked about this in your other read as well, your bonus read. It's just Pisces is a fantasist. They believe in humanity. They believe in love. They don't want to be around people who are just basically doom and gloomers and hating each other. Because I feel like whoever these people are, they just do it for sport. Because the Five of Wands is sport. There's not even a real reason to do it. It's for sport. But they also might sit there to each other's face, like, and that's what's even more sickening, you know? So I feel like for Pisces, like, you just want to be, see the way the man's got the cup, you just want to be in your own little world, and you want to be in a world of people who are similar to you. And they just haven't got time for that, you know? Some of you could be thinking about travelling. Some of you might be going to hostels, or you might be travelling, or you're thinking about meeting new people. The Page of Wands is positive energy. And then we can see with the Tower, because the Tower is also the magnetic field. So the people in our life are energy. And if we're around people who are angry, we feel that. If we're around trauma, we feel that. So the Ace of Cups can also be feeling drained from it. You know, you're feeling drained from it. So I love this. This is a really amazing read for Pisces who just, they want to live in love and light. Like, that's the goal. The goal is to be around people who are making life better, they're carrying love and energy, they're trusting, they're open, not people who are nasty, malicious, guarded, like, you know, self-destructive. Let me just, so I feel like it's amazing for that. For the Pisces woman, I think you need to take your blindfold off when it comes to certain people or a certain person. Because the problem with Pisces is you often can attract very damaged men, because Pisces is very loving. I feel fluey, so if I sound off, it's because I'm getting a flu. But yeah, I feel like Pisces is very loving, and so often these men who lack love can be very drawn to a Pisces woman, because you fill them up where they're empty. But it's not good for you, because if you're filling them up, you're going to drain you, you're going to empty you. So the divine message for Pisces at this time is to be careful what you're choosing. Now's not a time to be naive. For the Pisces who are in some kind of destructive pattern, because the problem with the Pisces is you can really struggle with the world as well. Like, Pisces hates the 3D reality. You can really struggle. You like to be in your own world. You like to do what you want to do when you want to do it. So Pisces can really struggle with the 3D reality. So it's important for you to carve out a path that is in your own way, right? In other words, maybe it's a business you can do on your own terms. Maybe it's traveling. Maybe it's remote work, digital nomad. You don't want to live in this kind of matrix, power play. It just is not good for you. It exhausts you, it depletes you, and it's the opposition of what you are. It's the opposite of what you are, right? You don't fight for those things, you don't care about those things, right? Because you're a fantasist, you're a poet, you're an artist, you don't care about these things. Those people are like deaf to you. They're like deaf because the things they talk about, what they stand for, what drives them is not what drives you. So it's not about fighting these people, it's about leaving them behind, right? And it's about, the death card is about making changes. And it's about, instead of leading by fear, leading by faith and getting excited, because the Page of Wands is new energy. And you can see the fruit. So it's about planting seeds that are going to lead to a lot of fruits. Okay? But I'm going to say the big divine message here for the Pisces who are in some kind of destructive relationship, or they're in something that's really damaging, the divine is saying you need to end it. The death card. And I read human behaviour, always remember that. And so for me, when I see these cards, I see somebody who's very dangerous and it could lead to our death. I see someone who's acting in a self-destructive manner that could lead to their death. Now, this is a general read. I'm not pointing out to anybody. This is for entertainment purposes only. I do have to do that as a disclaimer. But I'm telling you, that's what I can see. This can be drinking too much. It can be getting ourselves into states where, getting ourselves into fights, like doing things that lead to danger or death. And it's why people have always loved me, because I've always kept it real. I've always told people what I see. But in general, I love this for the Pisces who are like, this is not my world, these are not my people. And they're embracing change and they're in a good energy. And the Nine of Cups can just be someone who's happy. So the Nine of Cups can just be someone who in themselves right now, they're just feeling really happy, really excited. This is the sacral, so they're starting creative projects, they're working on projects, they're working on a business. This can be good if you want to open a coffee shop, because this is coffee, it's drink. So if you want to open some kind of coffee shop, some of you might want to open a bar. Some of you might get a job in a bar, a beach bar. Just be careful again, just don't let temptation ruin you. I think that's the message here. Stay balanced, stay moderate. But there's something around remaining true to yourself, even if that means you have to face your fears, even if that means you have to end certain relationships, or you have to completely recreate yourself. The Page of Wands is a new beginning. Don't be afraid to start again. I just heard that really strongly. But with the Pisces woman, I feel like there is a demonic force, a very, very traumatized man, a dangerous man, and I feel like you need to take the blindfold off and see who this person is. And you need to take your power back. It could also just be like this person just likes to play games, they're just destructive, they're not going to get it together, you're just draining yourself, you're creating anxiety, you're giving yourself sleepless nights. Maybe this person is saying that they're working, but they're really seeing other people. Strong air sign, strong fire sign, strong Scorpio. So if you're dealing with a Scorpio. And then, remember we talked about this before, which is some of you are still living for a person from your past. So while you're still hung up on this person from your past, maybe you're still watching the social media, this person's moved on. They're living their life, So some of you, I think you need to get yourself out of something, or you need to get over something and accept it's over. Because the Death card is non-negotiable, it's over. But this is very inspiring for the Pisces who listen. Okay? Your instinct is telling you something now. Your energy is telling you something now. about a whole new direction you can go in. A new career, a new business. This could be setting up your own business, because when I looked at this guy, this could be a baker or opening a coffee shop, living in a van. I'm getting very like, I can't think of the word, but people who live off the, they don't live the typical matrix life. They don't allow themselves to be trapped. They want to be free. So for the Pisces who are kind of in that mindset and they're in the creative energy, and it's very good. There's a lot of energy right now with the Tower and the Page of Wands, but it can really drive you towards the life and the change that you want. And then there's, to finish, the Divine is saying one of your biggest lessons is coming to your power with these type of people who exploit you, who try to put you in fear, who manipulate you, and who drain you. It's time to choose yourself. I feel like there's people in your life who like, they feel like they know you, they feel like they've got you made, and it's time to show them they're mistaken. End of story. So like the video, comment, show the love, let me know if this related. And if you want to book in your own read, it's in the description box below. If you join the membership, there is also another read for Pisces that you might like, and I'm going to be doing other stuff as well. I'll speak to you soon.